Chair recognizes Ms. Greene for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Ahuja, I'd like to talk to you a little bit. Over 20 years, I've been an employer. I own a commercial construction company. Our primary objective is to serve our customer and provide the best service and product possible. That's pretty much how businesses work in the private sector. I'm also a big believer in hiring the best people that I can hire, because whether they're one of my top employees or the lowest person in my business, they represent our company, and we want them to represent us well and do the best job for our customer who's paying us. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about work, hiring people on merit, and firing people. President Trump's Executive Order EO 13957 removed many job protections for poorly performing or insubordinate officials in important federal jobs. It made it easier to take action against at-will employees up to and including firing them for performance issues, and denied at-will employees the ability to appeal disciplinary procedures and firings. On the third day of President Biden's presidency, he rescinded this executive order along with many others. You're a big supporter of diversity, equity, and inclusion, as you stated in the beginning of this hearing. But on January 31st, 2023, Director, you released a proposed rule to update federal hiring procedures for determining suitability and fitness. Quoting you, "Knowing engagements in acts or activities with the purpose of overthrowing federal, state, local, or tribal government. 2, acts of force, violence, intimidation, and coercion with the purpose of denying others the free exercise of their rights under the U.S. Constitution or any state constitution. Attempting to indoctrinate others or to incite them to action in furtherance of illegal acts. Active membership or leadership in a group with knowledge of its unlawful aims or participation in such a group with specific intent to further its unlawful aims." You said anyone that fits these characteristics should not be hired. Director, in your opinion, is a person who participated in the riot at the Capitol on January 6th fit to serve in the federal workforce?
Thank you, Congresswoman, for that question. I can't speak to that specific instance, but what I can tell you is we look at the whole conduct, case by case, and we are, with this particular revision of the questionnaire, seeking to balance the First Amendment rights and also the conduct that would be of concern by individuals coming into the federal government. So it is a balance.
Director, specifically, if anyone was involved in the activities on January 6th, could they be employed by the federal government?
Congresswoman, I can't give a yes or no answer here. We look at each individual on a case-by-case basis and look at the set of conduct and their background.
Well, according to your proposed rule of federal hiring procedures, you're determining their suitability and fitness. What about a person who rioted at a BLM or Antifa riot and attacked police officers, burned or vandalized federal buildings?
The same would hold true, Congresswoman. We would look at the whole set of circumstances, review that case on, again, of that individual. I couldn't speak to a hypothetical situation in this instance because it's a pretty vigorous review. And so
Director, you're in charge of hiring and firing people for the federal government. I would think this is a question that you could answer.
Well, Congresswoman, we manage the policies, but I don't manage the hiring and firing of individuals in the federal government. That's
I think you could
agency
answer this.
level.
Since you set the policy, this is a yes or no question.
Congresswoman, I do appreciate your question, but it's I'm not able to answer a hypothetical. It truly is based on all the set of information that comes into our adjudicators and our investigators to look at that individual.
Okay, Director, on June 3rd, 2020, you wrote a blog supporting BLM and a call to action for people to donate to the Northwest Community Bail Fund, which is dedicated to ending cash bail and pretrial detention in Washington State of BLM and Antifa rioters in 2020. These were rioters that, took over the streets of Portland, Oregon, attacked police officers, federal courthouses, and local government. They had the autonomous zone. Do you support pretrial detention, and do you think the January 6th pretrial defendants should be continued to be held in pretrial detention?
Congresswoman, my understanding here is I'm here as the director of OPM, and that's the basis of this hearing, and I'm happy to answer questions based on my role in this agency.
Director, you avoided all my questions today, so I hope you do better with my colleagues. Thank you.